Meanwhile, South Korean President Moon Jae-in, in an emergency cabinet meeting this afternoon, warned that Japan will face severe consequences for what he called its reckless act. Our presidential correspondent Shin Se-min joins us live from the Blue House. Se-min, tell us more.
Devin, it's looking a lot like an eye-for-an-eye situation here in the country. President Moon Jae-in, during an emergency cabinet meeting earlier this afternoon, sent out a clear warning message to Japan over its decision to drop South Korea of its whitelist of trusted importers, calling it a grave challenge to the two countries' relations and a selfish move that will greatly hamper the global economy. Now, I want to go back to that bit from that meeting earlier, and President Moon Jae-in sending a clear message to Japan.
우리 정부와 국제사회의 외교적 해결 노력을 외면하고 상황을 악화시켜온 책임이 일본 정부에 있는 것이 명확해진 이상 앞으로 벌어질 사태의 책임도 전적으로 일본 정부에 있다는 점을 분명히 경고합니다.
The president called the decision a case of clear, unjust economic retaliation over South Korea's top court's ruling that ordered Japanese companies to compensate the Koreans used for forced labor during colonial rule. Now, he said his government will take corresponding measures in a resolute way and said despite Japan being an economic powerhouse, South Korea has its own methods to counter Japan's attempt to damage the economy. And Devin, the fact that the cabinet meeting normally held on Tuesdays was held today and that president's opening remarks were broadcast live already shows how grave the situation is and how sensitive the matter is that the South Korean government is handling. Devin?
Yes, indeed. We were all watching, and the president was speaking not only to Japan here, he also made an appeal to the people of Korea. Tell us about that.
Right. While President Moon was blasting Japan for its action this morning, he also called on the people of South Korea to stand together, united. He said when the people of Korea have trust and believe in the competence of its government and the companies, both large and small, the country as a whole can overcome this crisis. Here's President Moon implanting a sense of confidence in the people of Korea.
지금의 도전을 오히려 기회로 여기고 새로운 경제 도약의 계기로 삼는다면 우리는 충분히 일본을 이겨낼 수 있습니다. 우리 경제가 일본 경제를 뛰어넘을 수 있습니다.
And behind that strong message, though, President Moon left a door open to Japan, saying that one way to stop all this and the vicious cycle of tit for tat is for Japan to immediately withdraw its wrongful measures and return to the table for talks. And as ways South Korea can respond, the finance minister will hold a joint presser in a few moments' time, and that could include short-term supply and demand countermeasures, along with a message condemning a Japanese government. The government may also review possible legal changes that could perhaps minimize the damage behind being done to Korean firms. Devin?
All right, thank you for that. Shin Se-min reporting live from the Blue House.